Now this is probably the smallest figure in this whole series I'm doing here. My top 5 favorite Transformers. As most of them are either decent size or are pretty big. The first one was probably the second smallest one on here. And the third was, in its regular mode, was about Voyager size, not too big. But then when you put him in combined mode, he was taller than the modern leader. So yeah, so we get back to this mold. The Classics Hot Rod mold, which is number 2. Now, I'm actually going to explain why, because, well, do it in this mode. I, as a kid, loved Hot Rod. So, my dad got me Classics Hot Rod and also a spotlight of IDW. There's a spotlight on Rodimus. In there, he's just called Rodimus. But yeah. And I always was very fond of the character. As I actually liked him, unlike some people didn't. Because they didn't like Rodimus Prime. Now, I don't mind Rodimus Prime at all. I do prefer Optimus any day of the week. But Rodimus Prime isn't as bad as most people say he is. And then the people complaining about him because he killed Megatron. He killed Optimus. I think Optimus probably would have died either way, but you know, whatever. And he was an interesting character in the movie. And he wasn't actually bad in Rebirth at all. As you can see, it's a really old figure. Sadly has some bite marks. It's broken. Now, I actually didn't break that, surprisingly enough. I had a friend come over, and my friend's little brother, which is also my friend, and the little one fortunately broke it and didn't even tell me he broke it. I ended up finding out and actually getting kind of mad about it. Rightfully so, but yeah. I still do talk to him till this day, so it's not like it was like friendship ending or anything like that. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. So we're gonna alright, now I didn't even I feel stupid. So I'm just gonna put this one aside. It rolls great. And this is the Cyber we paint for the Transformers Club. Rolls great. Now I don't know where I have his launcher. I know I probably still do have it, so yeah. If I try to get this one in its car mode, he just still does roll pretty well. And yeah, I don't like how this is orange. It should have been yellow, but whatever. So yeah, let's get them transformed. Now I'll put him aside if he's the one that's actually not broken, so I can show his transformation on screen. So you want to remove this. I suggest kind of fire off the missile and then flip it like this. So it'll be like this when it's in car mode. Like, sorry we're back, I ran out of storage. But anyways, as I was saying, so you just shoot the missile out, right? And then just flip the gun around, put the missile back in. Now, it doesn't look as goofy as it being the other way. So yeah, you got that done. Now let's get to the figure. So, first we want to do, move this, and you notice this like little thing sticking out. Want to push that out, push that back in. Do the same. There you go. Now, what you want to do is separate the legs from the side over here. Do that. Okay, next step. Fold these like that. Fold them. Boom. There we go. Turn his legs. Turn his feet, I mean. Boom. Fold this. You push the arms out. And now you fold that down. Boom. Boom. Boom, there you go. Now, oh man. Okay, turn his backpack. And there you got the mold transformed. Now we'll put his gun in his hand. And you got the Classics Hot Rod mold. But in the Sideburn when you paint, which actually does fit Sideburn quite a bit. I wish they would have remolded the head, retooled the head. But as is pretty good. And now just let me get Hot Rod transformed. And I'll talk to you a bit about my opinions on Titan Returns Hot Rod, which I do have. And yeah, I do like him, but his proportions are kind of odd, but to be fair, he's chunky. So it's between some kind of weird proportions and like what I mean weird is like his shoulders are kind of longer than they probably should be. And whereas this Rodimus, damn, I'm having trouble with this. Actually transforming this damn thing. Alright, I got it. Oh, great. I forgot the tabs on here are quite literally gone on my Classics Rodimus. Whereas on my Sideburn here, he actually still has them. So I could actually get his hands up better. Alright. Alright. Almost got him done. So yeah, the Titan Returns Rodimus, I don't like how the spoiler is and how big those shoulders are. But this car mode, oh my god, looks so much better than this figure because it actually looks like the G1 figure. I was actually kind of surprised that how it came out in vehicle mode. It just looked so nice. It did. Oh yeah, and I forgot, you also kind of want to get these side panels kind of out. Alright, so I'm just attaching his chest now. Okay. That's... the only thing... Ah, crap. Actually keeping my Classics Rodimus together when it's in robot mode is shockingly actually my really tight as hell arms on this figure. Because his is a lot looser. The arms, it's not as stiff. Which is good for transforming it, because then I don't feel like I'm going to break it. Whereas with this guy, they're extremely tight. Which is actually good, because otherwise they weren't tight. His chest would probably be falling down. Here he is in robot mode. Now for a Hot Rod figure, complaints I have is the back kibble. It could be done better. G1 did it better, I believe. Yeah, it did. And then Titan Returns did it better, but the spoiler isn't big enough. And this is the one thing this figure does do right. Spoiler is big enough, you can see it. You're like, yep, that's Hot Rod. There's another repaint of him, which I used to have, but I actually sold it off to a friend of mine who's a big Transformer fan, and I already had 2 versions of this mold, so I was like, okay, here you go. And yeah. But yeah, you see his great, it's a great sculpt. I'll show you his face. Boom. And voila. Both good figures. One thing I was just saying, the spoiler, this whole back part's kind of big, but it does make it that I could actually see the spoiler, unlike Titan Returns. His legs are more chunky than I would like them to be, as the arms are kind of thin, and then he just got these chunky legs. Titan Returns fixes that issue. But he doesn't have the weird chest ab thing that the Titan Returns one did. And then also, another benefit is, I like his head sculpt better than the Titan Returns one. I just think this provokes more Rodimus. But he doesn't need the painted horns there because that's not G1 accurate. It was a weird thing they were doing at the time. I don't know why they did it. Hell, I think IDW did that for a bit, but their head design was different. So it was, at first it was kind of like G1, but then they drifted to what it is now. His head style with the More Than Meets the Eye comics, which that head looks actually pretty fucking awesome. And yeah. Another thing he doesn't get right that his animation model, and even G1 toy had, was the engine wasn't on his chest. On the toy, it was on the head, whereas in the animation model, it just kind of disappeared. But yeah, it's on his chest, as you see, and yeah. It's not too distracting, but I would have liked for it not to be there. But as is good. His articulation, you don't get a 90-degree bend, unfortunately, on his leg, as you see. Kind of like last night's Prime's articulation. You get the 90-degree there, but he has that weird gap in his arm, which kind of does bother me sometimes. So you got his classic two little like pistol thingies, and then he has his saw blade, and his chest is falling off. So we're gonna move him away, then move him back. Again, crap. Hold on, let me do it with the other arm, not with the gun. You can do it 360 degrees. His head fully turns 360 degrees. You can do a splits. Again, you don't have 90 degrees. He does have heel spurs. And oh yeah, as I was saying, he has the saw, which you just pull this tab right here, pull it out, boom. It's from the Transformers the movie when he used it to get cut, to help cut, escape from that weird giant squid thing on a Quintessa. And yeah. Now these are deluxe figures, so they're not incredibly big, but for comparison, here is the Last Night Optimus. Now these figures are more in the size of a modern deluxe, as he's not exactly the tallest of figures, as he's a figure that came out around the same time. First movie Bumblebee, and you can tell he's taller. This was the standard at the time. So he's a bit shorter, but I don't mind it. Overall, it's a great figure. It's probably one of the best Rodimus figures until Titan returns, but both figures do suffer. They're not perfect figures, as both things do things that annoy me. But also both things do things differently that do better. Now, due to his transformation, he has no waist articulation. But however, for whatever reason, he can bend. And I don't know why he does that, to be quite honest. Ah, crap. And if you're wondering if it's just that one, no, he can do it too. I don't know why they have that. I'm just assuming that was just to get the leg articulation working, but it kind of works with that too. So, little added bonus of his leg articulation. Pretty sweet. But overall, I would rate this figure an 8.5. Now, the reason why this figure is on this list is because he has quite a few fond memories. I have fond memories of playing with this figure and being like my favorite Hot Rod figure. And it was one of my first Transformer Classic figures as well. As he was one of my first, I got Bumblebee. Then I remember specifically, I think it was Santee Target. I picked up Classics Ramjet. And then I got an Astro Train as well, and then that 2-pack set with Optimus, which I repainted the Optimus. The Megatron I sold. And yeah, those were the classic figures I had. I got Classics Prime not too long ago in that 2-pack Evolution set, which is where this Optimus came from. The Age of Extinction one I have. And yeah. And yeah, he's just a great mold. They only repainted him... Actually, no, they actually repainted him quite a bit. First was in the repaint set, which came with the Cyclonus. That was the first repaint. Then you got this repaint. And then after this repaint, which... The reason why I think this works too is because Cyburn actually had an engine on his chest. Which... That is great. It was just kind of a convenience thing with that. You can take out the spoilers, so technically you can make it more like Cyburn, but then you got some gaps in his vehicle mode, so just keep those on. But anyways, as I was saying, the other repaint came out was there was Takara's version of this classics one, and then Takara's version, which was like a weird blue gray color, is see-through. I think it's on the TF Wiki. It looked weird. Then you got the Botcon Shadow Glass repaint, and then you got the repaint that was again supposed to be more movie accurate, so that's toon accurate, like the previous one with the Cyclonus repaint. And I mean Cyclonus, I mean the Universe Cyclonus. Which that Hot Rod came the second repaint to look more like cartoon accurate. Came with the Junkions, some Junkion figures, and yeah. Oh, and then wait a minute, what did that? I'm trying to remember if he came with that movie pack with the, no he didn't. He didn't. But yeah. Overall, I would highly recommend him to anybody who hasn't had the Titan Returns Rodimus, and even if you did, you'll get quite a bit of appreciation from him. His engineering is kind of behind the times, but he's a fun and solid figure to transform. And whatever paint scheme you get, whether it's the pretty cool Sideburn repaint, the original, the other two box set repaints, or the Botcon, or the Takara versions, he's a solid figure to get. And yeah, this has been me, Nemesis 01. Peace out, guys.